Welcome back to the Culture of Currency, where today we're tackling North American bullion coins. I know I have some here on the table that are not bullion, but just some things to talk about as they are something that people love to stack and collect. And so we'll get into all of that. North America only has a couple of nations that distribute bullion coins. I've never seen one from, let's say, Panama or Honduras or anything like that. However, if there are, I would love to get my hands on one and bring those stories to you, but I just don't have any. So let's go ahead and start with the might of Mexico. Obviously, we know of this right here. This is the Libertad, the beautiful standard bullion coin of Mexico. All of these coins, by the way, have their own video that goes over the history, the culture, the significance, so on and so forth. One of the things I love about the Libertad has nothing to do with this victory here flying, but rather the story of the mountains in between, the love triangle that created the seeds for these mountains in a mythological sense. So if you don't know the story of that, go watch the video that I made. It is a really cool story, but this is what many in the community believe is the prettiest coin in bullion form. I have my disagreements with that statement. I do think it is gorgeous, but I do not think it deserves that title. Also, just so you know, a lot of the silver that is mined that comes through U.S. markets for various things like industrial purposes are coming from this Central and South America. Beautiful from Mexico. And another thing that Mexico is known for are some of their older silver coins, such as this beautiful specimen from the Olympics back in the day, 1968, when they held the Olympics. It'd be scary to think about them holding it now with all of the violence and the cartel, but at one point, Mexico was a fairly safe area. It's a gorgeous coin, and so if you are a collector of Mexican currency, there's much to be desired in the older currency that has silver content. It is gorgeous, and it does tell a story. But obviously, this is the one for the newer age. They unfortunately don't do many coins outside of these, like we see, let's say, in England or Canada or Australia. So there's that. Speaking of Canada, this is their classic, the maple leaf. One of the prettiest coins in bullion, the bullion industry. I'd say one of the most iconic as well. In fact, this is, if I were to go out and get a monster box of silver today, this would be one of the ones I'd get because the premiums tend to be on the lower side. This, the filly, and the kangaroo tend to be the lowest premiums that I'm seeing consistently on bullion. They, $3 or so per coin under the American Silver Eagle. Here's a standard variety, and I have multiple variations we'll go through on this theme, which is so Canadian. Gorgeous. Here we have the same type of obverse. This is going to be a very similar series. Let me see if I can get my camera to like it better. This is a 2017. This is in their Predator series. We see the radiant background behind Her Late Majesty. And here we have a lynx. It's a lynx. We know that because, well, one, I've looked it up, but two, you can tell how bushy the fur is. They are very, very similar to bobcats, and since you don't have color on this coin, it's hard to tell. But this is definitely a lynx because we know how big and thick the arms are. This is a Olympic version of the maple. We have a couple of these. It's a 2009. You can see that it was Vancouver, which I believe was a Winter Olympics back in the day. And this is the Thunderbird. So as you see, we have iconic imagery that ties in the Vancouver Olympics with the native population, as well as the classic maple as we see it cascading over the Thunderbird in various forms. Really cool coin, one of my favorite Canadian coins right there. Another favorite Canadian coins right here. Check out this maple. We have the Inukshuk right here on the left side, and that is Native American symbology, where they'd stack rocks to create symbols. But it is gorgeous. We have the Canadian leaf on tilt, almost bowing to the reverence of the Olympics, which is cool. And then obviously this is an older 2008, so it has a different design on the background, but really cool, solid piece there. Another awesome thing that they do there at the Canadian Mint is 2-ounce versions. This is kind of like the Queen's Beast, but this is obviously Canadian. We have Charles there showing you that this is a fairly new coin. And this is going to be in their prehistoric series. We have the Woolly Mammoth. How cool is that? This is my first chunky 2-ounce bullion coin. I do have rounds, but this is the first coin I have like this, and it is really stellar. Fantastic quality. So as you can see, fairly thick when compared to a standard coin, 1-ounce coin. But in this variety, it's the same diameter. Canada is also known for silver dollars, and I have a handful. This one, for example, looks like it's starting the toning process, so we'll see what it turns out. We have a younger Queen Elizabeth here. But this is 1985. This was actually before I was born. And that is a moose. And this is talking about their national park system up in Canada, which is fantastic. I want to go to one up in Calgary. In fact, I have some more silver dollars, but I just wanted to bring out an example. But Calgary is where I would like to go. Their silver dollar has the Stampede on it, which is a festival that's the biggest rodeo in the world, and I want to go to it. And right outside of Calgary is their biggest national park. So it's kind of like a twofer. Here is a 2015, a little bit of milk spotting in here. And this is something that the Canadian Mint has, unfortunately, for a portion of its history, been known for. In fact, some experts believe that's the sign to know that it's really a Canadian bullion coin, is the milk spotting. It's almost like a certificate of authenticity. This is the Predator series, the owl, great horned owl. So you can see milk spotting all around. That's how we know it's real. It is gorgeous though. 4 nines. And our last example today is going to be a 1/2 ounce, which is an eagle. Pretty cool little eagle there. This might be a giveaway one day. If we have the need, this is something I could part with that I think the community would really enjoy. So it's definitely got that possibility ahead of it. Okay, now for the North American area that we're familiar with here, at least most of us, these viewers, and that is going to be the USA. And we're going to go into first some older stuff. Not that it's bullion, it's not, but it's things that a lot of people collect. 90% silver like this. This is Peace Dollar, which I believe is probably one of the most beautiful pieces of currency America ever minted. I love the Art Deco look and vibe to it. And I love that the eagle is at peace, hence Peace Dollar, and the fact that it says it there. Beautiful. We, of course, have Morgans galore. So, Morgan dollar. Standard here. I don't quite like it as much as the Peace Dollar, and I know it's iconic. We all know that. I love its association with things like the Wild West. But it just, I don't know. I always thought that Touchdown Eagle was a little bit on the less classical side when it comes to artistry. Almost as if a junior high art project could have done it. But I get it. It was a different time. Whatever. I'm sorry if I offended you. America is really known for these when it comes to bullion. This is the American Silver Eagle, which many of us know and love. It is gorgeous. We see this type of iconography also on the Walking Liberty $50, which is one of the prettiest, right there up there with the Peace Dollar. Gorgeous. I have a Type 1 and a Type 2 that I pulled out today, where the obverses are basically the same, but it's the reverse where we have alterations. So our Type 1, which I tend to like better, Looks like this, very classical in its approach. And then we have the Type 2, where the eagle is coming in with a branch. Still beautiful, but I prefer the Type 1. But we have other things in America, such as the Native American sovereign nations. So this is the Delaware Nation. We just picked this up, which is out of Oklahoma now, but it used to be on the East Coast. And if you don't know about that process, well, history was not very kind. But Oklahoma, from what I understand, is where they reside currently. Gorgeous coin, and I love the turtle. It's really cool. Next we have the Lakota tribe of the Sioux, which is going to be up in the Dakotas, I believe South Dakota. I have some videos over them if you are interested. Looky there, Chief. He's got his pew that he's holding. Looks like a Winchester Model 98 lever action, which is great. I've got one in the cabinet. Gorgeous. And, of course, another sovereign mint here. And this is the Warrior Chief. Native American stuff out there is fantastic. In fact, there's some Native American mint stuff out there where right here there's a little capsule of different types of beautiful minerals and gems like rubies or sapphires, topaz, all kinds of cool stuff. This, in closing, is my favorite American coin. Maybe my favorite coin of all time. I don't know. This is the Colombian half dollar. Probably my favorite video to make. It has so much history in it. It has the artwork of both Morgan and Barber. And it had been released in the World's Fair in Chicago, the Colombian World's Fair, 1892 and 1893. It was made as a fundraiser. It's the first half dollar that was a commemorative, and it's the first half dollar to actually have an identifiable person's face on it, this being Columbus. But that World's Fair had things like Nikola Tesla there. It had Edison there. It had, peanut butter being released, Wrigley gum. So many cool things. H.H. Holmes was even there, who is a murderer, serial killer, one of the most prolific in American history. In fact, the mayor that opened the ceremony died before it closed, or he got an assassination attempt or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, just crazy, crazy time in America. And this coin was right there to see it all. So that's what we have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed these cool American coins. I know there's nowhere near the diversity of selection as many other areas of the world, and it's really getting propped up by Canada. So thank you, Canada, for all of your amazing stuff that you put out. But thought I'd bring that to you and hope that you enjoy it. So until next time, please remember, as always, to stay classy and current with the culture of currency.